When we begin the journey of healing our inner girl, the very first step is to simply acknowledge her presence. So often, we move through life without pausing to recognize that inside each of us lives a younger version who still holds all the hopes, fears, and tender dreams she once carried. She's the part of us that once believed in magic, that craved unconditional love, that longed to be seen and accepted just as she was. But she's also the part who may have felt abandoned, misunderstood, or even shamed for simply being herself. As adults, we tend to brush past these remnants of our childhood, telling ourselves that we should be over it by now, or that it's too painful to look back. Yet it's precisely in acknowledging this little girl within that true healing begins. Imagine for a moment that you could sit across from your younger self. Maybe she's 5 or 7 or 12. Notice her eyes, the way she holds herself. What is she feeling? What does she need? For many of us, these questions stir emotions we've kept buried for years. We might realize she's still waiting for someone to tell her she's enough, that her voice matters, that it's safe to trust her feelings. When we fail to recognize her, we leave these wounds unattended, and they continue to shape how we show up in our lives and relationships today. We may find ourselves people pleasing, afraid of rejection, overachieving to prove our worth, or struggling to set boundaries because deep down, that little girl is still trying to earn the love and security she missed. Acknowledging your inner girl is an act of profound compassion. It means saying, I see you, I hear you, I haven't forgotten you. It's giving yourself permission to feel the sadness, the loneliness, or even the joy you might have suppressed. Sometimes we resist this because we're afraid it will open a floodgate of pain. But in truth, what she needs most is simply to be acknowledged, to know that you, as the woman you are now, are willing to hold her hand through it all. As you start this gentle dialogue with your inner girl, you might begin to notice patterns in your life that suddenly make sense. Perhaps you realize that the fear you have of speaking up in a meeting is the same fear she felt on the playground when her ideas were dismissed, or that your tendency to shrink back in romantic relationships is tied to how she learned love was conditional. By seeing these connections, you start to unravel old stories that no longer serve you. It's not about blaming the past, but about understanding it, so you can lovingly choose a new path forward. Embracing your inner girl also means allowing her to teach you. She holds an innocence and authenticity that we often lose touch with as adults. Her laughter was unfiltered, her curiosity boundless, her emotions raw and honest. By reconnecting with her, you invite those qualities back into your life. You give yourself permission to be vulnerable, to play, to dream without limits. This, in itself, lays the foundation for awakening your feminine essence, because the feminine thrives in authenticity, in feeling deeply, in being wholly present with whatever arises. So as we begin this journey together, I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Picture that little girl within you. Let her know that you're here now and that you're willing to listen. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to show up for her, consistently and with love. Because when she feels truly seen and held, your heart will begin to soften, and slowly, beautifully, your feminine essence will start to bloom. Once we've taken the gentle step of acknowledging our inner girl, the next part of this journey is to help her heal and begin rewriting the story she's been carrying for so long. Many of us move through life unconsciously guided by old wounds and limiting beliefs formed in moments when we were too young to fully understand what was happening. Perhaps someone we loved didn't show up for us the way we needed, or maybe we were told to quiet our emotions, to toughen up, to stop being so sensitive. Over time, these experiences created narratives in our minds. That love must be earned, that our needs are a burden, that our voice is too much or somehow not enough. Without realizing it, we continue to live by these stories, repeating patterns that keep us feeling stuck, small, or disconnected from who we truly are. Healing these old wounds is not about dismissing the past or pretending it didn't shape us. It's about returning with compassion to those tender places so we can offer ourselves what we didn't receive back then. When we do this, we begin to loosen the grip of shame, fear, and self-doubt. We start to understand that many of our struggles today are echoes of unmet needs from long ago. Maybe that's why we feel anxious when someone pulls away, or why we sabotage opportunities before they even start, because deep down, the little girl within us still believes she's unworthy of love, success, or happiness. One of the most powerful ways to begin healing is simply to witness these beliefs without judgment. When a painful thought arises like "I'm not good enough" or "people always leave," pause and gently ask yourself, where did this come from? Who taught me this? Is it actually true? Often, you'll find it's not your voice at all, but the voice of someone who was also wounded, unknowingly passing on their own pain. Recognizing this doesn't erase the hurt, but it opens the door for compassion, for you to finally say to yourself, "I don't have to carry this anymore." It's also important to create new, life-affirming narratives that honor your worth and your wholeness. This is where rewriting your story becomes such a beautiful act of self-love. Instead of repeating, "I'm too much," you might begin to tell yourself, "My emotions are a gift, my depth is beautiful." Rather than shrinking back out of fear of rejection, you might remind yourself, "I am lovable exactly as I am, even with all my imperfections." These new beliefs take time to root. They require gentle repetition and patience, like tending to a delicate garden. But each time you choose a kinder thought, you're creating a safer, more nurturing inner world for your inner girl to flourish. As you heal, you may also find it helpful to use tools that allow these old wounds to surface and be released. Journaling can be incredibly revealing, giving your inner girl a space to express her fears and hopes freely. Guided meditations or inner child visualizations can help you connect with her directly, offering her the reassurance and love she longed for. Sometimes, deeper wounds may need the support of a therapist or healer who can hold space for you to process what feels too heavy to carry alone. Through all of this, remember that healing is not a one-time event. It's a continuous, evolving relationship with yourself. Some days you'll feel powerful shifts. Other days, old patterns might resurface. That's okay. Each layer you uncover brings you closer to your authentic self, to the radiant feminine essence waiting beneath the protective walls you've built. So be patient, be gentle, and most of all, be willing to keep showing up for that little girl inside you. Because the more you help her release the pain of the past, the more she'll trust it's finally safe to step into the light. As you continue this tender journey of healing your inner girl and rewriting the stories that have quietly shaped your life, something truly profound begins to happen. You start to realize just how deeply you've needed your own compassion, not just in moments of obvious pain, but in the subtle, everyday ways you respond to yourself. Many of us have spent years being our own harshest critics. We downplay our achievements, punish ourselves for our mistakes, and push through exhaustion without a second thought. Somewhere along the way, we learned to believe that being hard on ourselves was the only way to be strong, responsible, or worthy. But true strength, the kind that nurtures your feminine essence, is born from softness. It grows when you learn to offer yourself the same gentleness you longed for as a little girl. Cultivating self-compassion is like learning a new language, one your inner girl has been waiting her whole life to hear. It's speaking to yourself with kindness even when you feel you've failed, reminding yourself that being imperfect doesn't make you unlovable, it makes you human. It's allowing your feelings to exist without trying to fix them or shame them away. When you're sad, instead of telling yourself to snap out of it, you might place a hand over your heart and simply say, "Of course you feel this way. It's okay, I'm here with you." These small acts of tenderness may seem insignificant, but they build an unshakable sense of safety inside you, reassuring your inner girl that she's no longer alone. Alongside compassion, nurturing yourself is essential for your healing and for awakening your feminine nature. So often we wait for someone else to give us permission to rest, to play, to be cared for. We tell ourselves we'll slow down after we've finished the next task, or we'll treat ourselves to something nice once we've achieved another goal. But your inner girl needs care now. She needs to know that her needs matter, not just after the work is done, not only if she earns it. Self-nurturing can be beautifully simple. It might mean taking a warm bath when you're overwhelmed, choosing to go to bed early rather than pushing through another hour of work, or stepping outside to feel the sun on your face and breathe deeply. It could be buying yourself flowers, cooking a comforting meal, or curling up with a book that makes your heart happy. These gentle rituals are not trivial, they're declarations of worthiness. They tell your inner girl, "You are cherished, and I will take care of you." This practice of self-compassion and self-nurturing also softens the armor you've built over the years, the layers of protection you once needed to survive. As those walls come down, your true feminine essence, the part of you that is intuitive, receptive, and deeply connected to beauty, begins to shine through. You no longer have to live on high alert, bracing for disappointment or betrayal. Instead, you start to move through life with more openness, allowing yourself to trust, to feel, and to receive. Remember, nurturing yourself is not selfish. It's one of the most loving gifts you can give to both yourself and the world around you. When you fill your own cup, you show up in your relationships more present, more authentic, more alive. You model what it looks like to honor your needs, giving others silent permission to do the same. So keep tending to yourself with the same tender devotion you would offer a precious child. Because in many ways, that is exactly what you're doing, showing your inner girl that she is safe, loved, and profoundly worthy of care. As you deepen your relationship with your inner girl through compassion and nurturing, you'll find that something inside you begins to stir, a spark that may have been buried under years of responsibility, heartbreak, and the steady grind of daily life. It's the spark of joy, wonder, and playful curiosity that was once so natural to you as a child. Reconnecting with this part of yourself is not just a delightful bonus on your healing journey, it's essential. Because when you allow your inner girl to explore joy and innocence again, you unlock vital energy that is at the very heart of your feminine essence. Think back to when you were little, how easily laughter bubbled up from your chest, how you could spend hours lost in imagination, how a simple game or splash in a puddle could fill your entire being with delight. There was no self-consciousness, no harsh inner judge telling you to stop being silly or to tone yourself down. You were simply alive in each moment, allowing joy to move through you without resistance. This is the same natural flow that your feminine energy thrives on. Openness, spontaneity, a willingness to embrace life with your whole heart. Sadly, as we grow up, many of us are taught to suppress this playful side. We're told to be serious, to grow up quickly, to stop dreaming so much. We start to associate joy with irresponsibility or see play as something frivolous that must wait until all the important work is done. But your inner girl is still inside you, longing for moments of lightness and magic. When you deny her this, life becomes flat and heavy, your days reduced to checklists and obligations. It's no wonder so many women feel disconnected from their feminine radiance. it withers without the nourishment of pleasure and play. Reconnecting with this energy doesn't have to be complicated. It simply means giving yourself permission to follow what delights you, even if it seems small or silly. Dance in your kitchen to a song that makes your hips sway. Paint or doodle with no intention of creating anything good. Lie on the grass and watch the clouds drift by, just because it feels peaceful. Try on a playful lipstick shade. Jump into the ocean with all your clothes on. Giggle with a friend until your sides ache. Let your inner girl lead the way. She knows exactly what lights you up. As you do, notice how your body responds. Your breath becomes deeper, your shoulders soften, your heart opens. These moments of joy aren't trivial. They are profound acts of healing. They tell your inner girl, it's safe now. You don't always have to be vigilant or guarded. You are free to play, to explore, to simply be. And this freedom nourishes your feminine energy like nothing else. It creates space for your sensuality to blossom, for your intuition to whisper, for your emotions to flow more naturally. There is also a beautiful ripple effect that comes from embracing your playful, joyful nature. The people around you can feel it. Your lightness invites them to drop their own defenses and join you in the dance of life. You become magnetic, not because you're trying to be, but because there is something irresistibly alive and genuine about a woman who allows her inner girl to shine. So keep exploring what makes you smile for no reason at all. Keep choosing delight over duty whenever you can, because every laugh, every spontaneous adventure, every quiet moment of wonder draws you closer to the vibrant, free-spirited feminine essence that has always lived within you, waiting for the chance to come out and play. As you nurture your inner girl with compassion, care, and joyful play, something extraordinary begins to unfold inside you. You start to feel a gentle stirring, an awakening of deeper parts of yourself that perhaps you've kept locked away. This is the blossoming of your feminine essence, that luminous, instinctive energy that is naturally yours. It's an energy rooted not in striving or controlling, but in softness, receptivity, and profound trust in the flow of life. Yet for many women, embracing this essence feels unfamiliar, even frightening, because we've spent so long living from a place of guardedness and overextension. So many of us have been conditioned to operate in survival mode. We've learned to stay alert, to anticipate problems before they happen, to handle everything ourselves so we don't feel vulnerable. We take pride in being independent and capable, often to the point of exhaustion. And while there is strength in these qualities, when they become our only way of being, they disconnect us from our more fluid, intuitive, feminine side. We forget how to receive. We lose touch with the wisdom of our bodies and hearts. We may even begin to equate control with safety, never realizing how much it costs us in intimacy, in joy, in our sense of ease. Awakening your feminine essence invites you to gently release this tight grip. It asks you to soften into trust, to allow yourself to be guided by intuition rather than rigid plans. It's about shifting from forcing life to happen into allowing life to unfold. This doesn't mean becoming passive or powerless. It means recognizing that true feminine power is magnetic and surrendered, not forced. It flows from within, rooted in the knowing that you don't have to chase or hustle to be worthy of love, opportunity, or pleasure. You simply have to open, to allow, to invite in. This is where all the work you've done to heal your inner girl becomes so important. Because the more she feels safe, the more she knows you'll honor her feelings, protect her, and meet her needs, the easier it becomes to let go of hypervigilance. You begin to realize you don't always have to brace yourself for disappointment. You can start to lean back into life, to trust that good things can come to you without you having to constantly fight for them. This is the tender, powerful art of receptivity. As you awaken this part of yourself, you'll notice your intuition speaking more clearly. You might get soft nudges in your body, gentle whispers from your heart guiding you toward what feels nourishing and away from what drains you. Your sensuality may also begin to bloom, because your feminine essence thrives on being connected to your senses, to touch, taste, sound, beauty, and breath. Allow yourself to savor these experiences without guilt, to let pleasure be a sacred part of your everyday life. Whether it's the feeling of sunlight on your skin, the taste of ripe fruit, or the luxurious texture of soft fabrics against your body, these simple delights anchor you into the present moment, where your feminine energy naturally resides. In embracing all of this, you start to embody a way of living that is less about proving and more about being, less about striving and more about feeling. You become radiant not because you've worked harder to perfect yourself, but because you've surrendered the masks and allowed your true essence to shine through. And it's here, in this spacious, trusting state, that your inner girl feels most at peace, finally free to dance in the fullness of who she's always been. As you continue to heal, to nurture your inner girl, and to awaken your feminine essence, you'll find that the final, profound layer of this journey is learning to truly honor and express all that you are. This isn't just about feeling safe or playful or radiant within yourself, though those are beautiful and vital parts of it. It's about taking that inner transformation and allowing it to spill outward into the world. It's about living in a way that is aligned with your deepest truth, where you no longer shrink yourself to be accepted or silence your voice to keep the peace. It's about becoming the woman your inner girl always dreamed she could grow up to be. For many of us, the idea of full expression can feel both exhilarating and terrifying. We've been taught to question ourselves, to second guess our desires and mute our instincts. Maybe somewhere along the way, you learned that your feelings were too big, your ideas too strange, your needs too inconvenient. So you tucked them away, convinced it was safer to be agreeable or to simply blend in. But hiding your truth comes at a steep cost. Over time, your light dims, your spirit dulls, and your feminine energy, which thrives on authenticity and emotional freedom, becomes stifled. Honoring who you are means giving yourself permission to stand unapologetically in your wholeness. It means speaking up when something matters to you, even if your voice shakes. It means allowing yourself to desire deeply and to pursue what lights you up, regardless of whether others understand or approve. It means embracing your emotions, all of them, without labeling them as too much or not enough. Joy, sadness, anger, tenderness, they are all sacred messengers, guiding you toward what is true and meaningful. This is also where boundaries become an act of profound self-love. Because as you heal your inner girl, you become more attuned to what feels safe and nourishing, and also to what feels depleting or harmful. Honoring yourself sometimes means saying no, even when it disappoints others. It means stepping away from relationships or situations that do not honor the tender, vibrant being you are becoming. Each time you choose to protect your energy and prioritize your well-being, you send a powerful message to your inner girl: you matter, your feelings are valid, I will always choose you. Living from this place of authentic expression also deepens your connection with others in the most genuine way. When you allow your real self to be seen, messy, brilliant, tender, fierce, you invite others to meet you there. Your relationships shift from shallow performance to soul-level intimacy. You attract people and opportunities that resonate with your true frequency, not with the mask you once wore out of fear. And perhaps most beautifully, as you embody this alignment, you become a living example for others, especially for other women who may still be waiting for permission to do the same. Your courage to be fully, audaciously yourself lights a path for them to follow. In this way, your personal healing ripples outward, creating space for collective healing and liberation. So let yourself be fully expressed. Let your laughter be loud, your tears be honest, your dreams be wild. Trust that your inner girl did not survive all she did just to live a half life now, with full avoidance, luminous truth of who you are, and your feminine essence is ready to take up the space it was always meant to hold.